Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Matty.
And I'm Lewis.
This is the Wigan Way, Wigan's favourite rugby league podcast.
He'll put you in his trap 'cause he's a union man. He's got it all figured out. He won't care what you think 'cause he's a northern man. He's allowed to speak his mind. His
The Wigan Way podcast is brought to you by Cherry and White Pins, a local Wigan Warriors themed pin badge company with a variety of Wigan ranges. You can get free shipping on all orders when you use the code The Wigan Way, that's The Wigan Way, all in capitals, at checkout. Thanks to them for supporting the show.
So, we're back with another episode of the Wigan Way. Unfortunately, not the result that we wanted. But before we get into the game, Matty, Lewis, how have you been, mate?
Me?
Mate, just one of you.
Oh,
you go first, Matty. How have you been, lad?
Good. Good. Been away. Been to the Lake District. Got a bit of League One rugby league action with the Cumbria Derby.
Are you going to have to give a review of your trip, seeing as we made Lewis do it?
No, I'm not. I've not got as many categories. I could swap dog friendliness for just rugby league heritage. There's an NRL shop in Whitehaven, but that wasn't open, so that loses a star. But there was lots of NRL kit on show at the game. I just liked watching League One rugby. It was just fun. You were so close to the action. You could hear them slapping into each other. It was terrible conditions, and like all the players' names on the back of the shirts was sellotaped over because there was obviously a different player. It was just fun, like seeing actually.
It's good going to a game as a neutral, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've done it before. When you go as a neutral and you're not emotionally invested, you can just actually sit back and watch the game for what it is. There's actually something quite nice about that.
I thought Workington were really good away from home. They're obviously a better side if you look at the league table, but they were really good away from home. They quieted the crowd down. Carter was on fire, the half-back, former Whitehaven man himself. And they had the lad on debut as well who used to play for Widnes. He was called Max something at centre. He was really good. He looked like a friend of ours, actually. Jimmy Wood. But he was fantastic, I thought, on debut. So I like being a neutral. I like that ground.
So another one ticked off for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ticked off for me, and I'm ticking another off in a couple of weeks. I'm actually going to Workington in a couple of weeks to watch them against Keighley. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
What's the ground called there?
It was called it was a sponsor's name, which I've forgotten, like Autos Energy Rec Ground.
Right.
It was a recreation ground, I think was the official name, but it was a sponsor name, Autos Energy or something. But yeah, it was a nice ground. There was a side stand covered, which was seated, which I presume was for season ticket holders and players' family and things. And then I was in behind the sticks for most of it, with a sheltered standing section, which was nice. And then there was some good viewing on the side, but that was uncovered. It was a bit like Odsal.
Yeah.
Uncovered on time. The old-fashioned scoreboard, where you still putting the numbers in yourself. They were rapid with that scoreboard.
Really?
Yeah, they were really good with it.
So yeah, Lewis, how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, all good. Enjoying the summer break. Getting out a little bit. I have not been away. My holiday comes on Saturday. I'm off to Northumberland. But the good thing about this is actually I won't miss the game because it's a week off.
Yeah,
So
we're playing on Friday this week.
Yeah. So I'll go to Catalan on
okay.
Well, I'll go to Catalan. I'll go to the Catalan game on Friday, is what I need to say. That'll be for me to say. And then Saturday morning, we're off to Northumberland.
So we'll get another review.
You'll get another review, and I won't have to miss a game.
No, the week off is. I suppose we'll talk about it later. But the bye-week, split week, it's confused a lot of people, hasn't it? I don't think they ever said what it was.
It was meant to be for the international game, wasn't it?
There's normally a bye, isn't there, for the international week? Yeah.
But obviously, without that, they were a little bit. Teams wanted that week, just to have a bit of a break and reset for
the business end.
Yes. Should we get into this game?
Yeah.
So, obviously not the result that Wigan wanted. 32 points to 12. We end up losing. Home to Hull FC. Twice we've lost to Hull FC at home, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm beating them twice away.
I know, you'd have to.
Convincingly, both times.
Just thinking how far you'd have to go back to see a similar run of results were.
I thought that they played almost a perfect game.
Yeah.
You do. You have to give credit to Hull FC. I thought Caesar in particular had his hands over everything, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player.
He is. He had his hands, and he always seems to play against us. He did the same in the cup game where they knocked us out.
He played well
it was
that game.
Caesar, but in the show,
Yeah.
he just seems to step it up against Wigan. He always has a good one against us.
Do you not think it's weird looking at Caesar now though?
I think he's just a good player.
I think he's a very, very good player. But the Caesar that we saw at Leeds that was struggling and looked past his best, we were very surprised when he went back to the West Tigers. And now he's come here, he looks...
He did okay at West Tigers, but never really worked that much.
Wasn't he at Huddersfield as well? Was that his other Super League team?
He was good for Huddersfield.
He was good there. Then he did it. Was it
Then he went to
Huddersfield,
Leeds.
NRL,
No, I think he got a move to Leeds based off his Huddersfield.
and then it was NRL, and he's come back to
Yeah.
Hull.
I think so.
He just looks like a player that's
Knows his game.
knows his game and he's happy playing rugby again.
I don't want to take away from him because he was fantastic, but he's off the back of a really dominant forward pack.
Yeah.
And you got to give credit to the forwards of Hull FC for making their meters.
Well, that's it. Obviously, there's a lot-
Especially the first two that were on the starting lineup. The first two props made so much damage.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because you actually look at how this game went. Obviously, Eckersley goes off injured. Means that Farrell goes to second row and
Centre.
Farrell goes to centre and Havard goes to second row. Then actually, we were probably missing our best three props from the middle of the field. Luke Thompson and Walter's obviously injured. Havard then playing second row.
Yeah, you'd like to put Walters at second row, wouldn't you, if this happened in a game. But obviously, I don't think he's miles away.
No.
Oh, he's back running and training. I don't think he's miles away. They were targeting the Warrington game for Walters, I think. So that's going to be a big boost.
I was just trying to get the point out. I think it shows how important it is having a superior pack, and
Yeah.
it's often the side with the better pack that gets the field position that wins games. And
But you want to drop kicks on wingers' heads, which we'll talk about in a bit. You need good field position.
Yeah.
And the Hull's forwards gave them that.
yeah, exactly. Couple of things from this game we should mention before we get into it. Obviously, Eckersley went off injured, but he is in the 21.
Yeah.
We're not.
Which is surprising, really. 'Cause it
It's the
didn't look
second
bad
time
when he got carried off.
He got carried off against Lee and then played the following week earlier in the season.
I wonder whether the Lee one was precautionary because of the type of tackle it was.
Yeah.
This one was his leg, though, wasn't it?
So it's not broken.
Well, that's it though.
I'm not sure he'll play this week with what Pete said, but
We were
maybe he
talking
will.
in our group chat and we just said, for me, it's quite simple, really. He's either broke it or he hasn't, has he?
Yeah.
If you think he's broke it and the scan shows he hasn't, a couple of weeks he should be fine.
You just don't want a situation that we've currently got at Lee with David Armstrong
Yes.
playing 3.5 games with a ruptured ACL and he's out for the season. He might be out for a bit longer if he's done that. That's really not something you ought to be doing.
No. The other one was Field, went off injured with a...
Head knock, yeah.
They passed him on the on-field, so he went off for a green card, and then they decided to do the HIA sub, which he then went on to fail. Weird situation,
That's
that.
strange, that.
Yeah, that was strange, yeah.
Unless,
You don't see that often.
unless there was something when he's come off and they've talked to him.
One of the symptoms then he showed, yeah, potentially. I mean, concussion's a really weird injury. We don't know all that much about it.
They're hard to diagnose, aren't they? And test for and stuff, I can imagine.
The
So,
symptoms.
if you don't know, you take him off because you think he's at something else, and then you think, actually, no, it's probably best to assess him here because, he's had a new symptoms showed.
They did the right thing.
100% player welfare's got to be top of the priority list. If he's showing any signs, you test him and make sure.
They did the right thing.
And you go through the process.
So, we're going to get into the details of this game, and one of the major talking points was Christian Wade.
Yeah.
Struggled the previous week, made a couple of mistakes under the high ball. I think he was only punished once for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was at all, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he was, yeah. I think the second try might have come from that.
But this week, Aidan Caesar really went after him. It was very, very clear from moment one what the plan was. As soon as he got any field position.
Yeah, I think Frawley, the previous week, had the same plan, but the forwards didn't lay enough of a platform in the second half for him to execute it. I think the forwards for Hull FC gave Caesar the chance to put his plan into action, and he did.
It's a weird one, isn't it, with the high ball? If he takes 2 or 3 of them in the first 3 attempts, they probably stop going to him. But actually, he makes the mistake on the. I think it was his second
your
one.
confidence gets boosted if you catch the first couple.
Yeah.
Like anything, like we always catching like that. If you drop one in a game, there's going to be 2 more that come to you. What automatically happens. Whereas if you catch the first one, you feel invincible. That's how he would have felt.
I think it's a bit. I could go on for 30 minutes here. That'll stop me. But I feel like it's very easy, isn't it, just to go, he cost us so many points because he dropped these balls, right? But I definitely know for one of them at least, I can't remember if it was the first or second one he dropped. Tackle before, or a couple of tackles before, Liam Knight catches a ball from 9 and runs about 30 metres before he's tackled, which, like you're saying then, Matty, means they're in an attacking position to put the kick in and drop it on his head. And for me, I was actually quite frustrated when I heard that Matty Pete come out and said that he was actually apologising. Because for me, personally, if he's in there apologising, I would want one of the leaders in that, whether it be a Farrell, whether it be a Marshall, whether it be a Lehman or someone vocal, to stop him halfway through his apology and say that's not necessary because as a team, we were not good enough today.
Yeah.
We were lacking physically. We didn't do you any favours because he was in a position to keep dropping it on your head every time, and we need to be better as a group, so don't you dare apologise.
No,
you don't need to.
Shouldn't apologise.
See, obviously, he was being asked about Wade, so you don't know whether that happened or not. He just said, he might have just apologised and said, sorry for dropping him, I'm going to carry on working on it. But you're exactly right. We didn't protect it well enough. We didn't defend well enough, which then leads to momentum and leads to attacking kicks.
Liam Knight, if you watch that game back, runs for one of the before that kick gets dropped, literally 30. I remember saying to Aidan at the side of me before I was watching it, with like, why is he being allowed to run 30? And he didn't even step, he didn't hand anybody off, he just caught the ball and ran in a straight line. And
I
just
thought
made 30
that
metres.
we were making so many easy meters. We were so, that's not like us at all through the middle. Soft.
Do you not think this then comes back to the conversation that people have? And we have it a lot with people that comment on Twitter with us and people that we go to the rugby with. People don't realise the importance of actually defending
from the front.
Harry Smith gets criticised for his 5-and-5 box kick, which we then pin in a corner and we defend, and your halfback's kicking from 30, 35 metres out. You're returning it and you're starting your attacks on halfway. We've lost the forward battle the last few weeks. We haven't controlled our ends of sets. They've got really good field position.
You think if you swapped Caesar and Smith, this result will be any different?
No, because Harry Smith will do the exact same thing that Caesar did.
That's kind of what I was getting at, yeah. I think you're right.
I also think with people, they don't also, like, I'm going to give the example there, but there's another couple of examples you can use. It's very easy to just go, well, they scored because Wade dropped and it's Wade's fault, but they don't think actually about 3 plays before that, or the set before that where we gave away a silly penalty and kicked the ball to the 30-metre line and then they got an attacking position. So it's easy to go, well, it's his mistake, he missed that tackle, he dropped that ball. But why are we in that position in the first place? Because we've just given away a silly penalty there, because we give away 2 6-agains in that set.
That's always going to be the case. It's like goalkeepers getting blamed for mistakes.
That's what I mean. There's so many preemptive things.
The way you talk about that, there's something worth watching over in Australia. They did a podcast with, his name will come to him, he plays for Melbourne Storm.
Yeah. And
he was talking about bellyache, and everyone knows that he can have the tantrums and the angry shouting or whatever. But he said, I made a mistake and let her try in. But when we went to the video analysis, he was looking at a tackle three sets before, which got him a quick play of the ball.
Yeah.
Got the momentum, and the momentum changed.
I think that's an unusual thing about rugby league. Well, maybe it's not unusual. It happens across a lot of sports, but where it can be lost 3 moves ago, and you're just trying to save it, or you're trying to get lucky, or you're trying to escape there without conceding. But you've made the mistake three plays ago, and it's still possible. I think that's definitely a thing in rugby league. Yeah.
We say it all the time, games won on defence. I don't think we defended well enough in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
It was the same against Huddersfield in the first half. The second half we changed, we got a bit more physical, but against Hull FC it was always going to be hard because they do have a good forward pack. SASA, Liam Knight, these 2 starting props are good prop forwards. So, but you've got them, and we were missing Thompson. I don't want to kind of keep making an excuse. We're missing Walters and big physical players for us, but you've got to match it. You've got to match it intensity-wise, emotionally, physically. You've got to get into that battle. And I feel like we were like, there was one set in the second half where we got a bit fit. We did a good defensive set. The crowd lifted up. We started picking people up and dumping them. And I know you're not going to do that every tackle pick up. Sometimes you're just going to get bodies in front and slow them down. But we definitely got. I think that's where we're losing it. And it's yours because we're just conceding so many points.
We are conceding a lot of points.
And it's not Wigan.
No,
we've always kicked. We've won a grand final on kicking on the third tackle and backing our defence.
Won 2 back-to-back doing that.
Yeah,
people wrote off at Abbas, at Toulouse, in his debut.
Look, weird for
knocking
me.
on a couple of high balls where he was a contested. It's a new, people aren't talking about Kyle Felt, who did absolutely disaster class for St Helens, and he's been playing rugby league his whole life.
Wade, look, I'm not going to say he struggled under high ball, no, that's a fact, but I'll give him his due. He did a mid finish for score his try.
Yeah.
He did a try saving tackle.
That's a good try saving tackle.
And I'll give him his due. When you're there watching the game, he was the first one that put his hand up and take hard carries coming out his own 10. He never shied away from that.
I'd say his carries were better.
Yeah, 100%.
Still a little bit of stuttering. Looking for a line break and whatever, and then he was 10% better in that department.
Again, he's made these mistakes in a game in July. Yeah, he's made them in a game in July. Abbas made them in a game in whatever it was.
June?
No, it was earlier than that, March maybe. But what I'm saying is, don't write him off.
On that, just whilst we're on Wigan as a team here, because I don't know if we're going to run through try by try, we're just going to kind of give overall views of the game and move on. But I know which one I'd rather do.
Yeah.
But I want you two to talk, kind of almost bring me round here and talk some sense into me, because you two are more rational about this stuff. Me, I can get a bit carried away. I know it's not the business end of the season yet, but I do feel like we are running out of time for these bad performances. And I feel like everyone's going, well, we'll peak at the right time. We've got to peak at the right time. But I'm thinking, but when is it? Because we're running out of time now for me. And I feel like we need to start putting some good performances together sooner rather than later.
Can I give you a stat?
Please do. Will this provide me some reassurance?
Yes,
right, give me a
It
stat.
provided me some reassurance when I was thinking maybe a little bit along those lines.
Give me a stat.
This particular weekend in July, Matty P has lost every single year.
Okay. That's a reassurance statistic.
There you go.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that.
Every single year he's been in charge, that's 4. He's lost in this weekend in July.
Do you know what I mean, though? We've had a good couple of consistently now with a run
I think we've got to... August is usually when we start to put on a run of good performances. And when we get bodies back for particularly like Warrington game the week after, I'm thinking after this bye week, if we don't start to see that, I'm discounting Catalan because we've still got bodies missing. If I just want us to get the win there. If I look at Warrington and then the following weeks from Warrington, if we then start to put some good performances together, then I will be supremely confident. If this continues to the end of August, then I would be in your camp there. I think you've got to be very careful. We'll speak about some other clubs later on who are playing incredibly well at the moment. You've got to be very careful about when you peak.
Our best middle of the season was Matty Pete's first season, 2022. We ran out of steam at the end of the year. We played Leeds at home and they ran all over us.
Didn't we lose It was a low-scoring game though. Didn't we lose a low-scoring game? The French went off but Bateman got red carded. French got injured.
Yeah, but we just ran over.
And it was low-scoring, but they just ground us out. I think that's. But then they beat us again. That was the year before. They beat us 8-0. It was an 8-0. I think that was 2021. Anyway, I can't remember.
August is a couple of weeks. Oh, we're nearly into August, I should say. In August, we've got Warrington, KR and Wakefield, and then Catalan's away on the last day of August. Let's see where we're at then.
Yeah.
Because we've been there and whatever, and there'll be teams that are flying, we'll talk about them in a bit, there's teams that are flying who'll be starting to worry that they've got to do it for another 10 weeks. There'll be teams that aren't playing well that... Listen,
we always have the overreaction. With a bad performance, it's usually in July. It was the Cup semi-final we lost a couple of years ago. It was Hull away and Warrington at home last year. We always have this time where everyone writes us off, mostly our own fans. In fact, I've seen more of our own fans writing us off than opposition fans. The opposition fans are saying, we've seen this movie before, we've read this book before, we know we're going to potentially come good at the end of the season, not writing them off. Wigan fans, it's different this time, we're writing them off.
Yeah, I don't personally feel like I know what you're saying. You're not accusing me of it, and you're saying that people write them off. I'm not writing them off. I'm just becoming more concerned. I think one of the things that again is in those seasons you've mentioned, we bounce back after. We always mentioned our resilience to bounce back. We got battered against Catalan at Magic Weekend. We bounced back the week after. We had a bad performance.
We actually lost back-to-back games.
We lost back-to-back games. We lost back-to-back games last year when we went to Hull. And
We
played
haven't lost back-to-back this year.
No, sorry. Last year, we lost to Hull.
Yeah, the Hull and
and
Warrington.
then got battered by Warrington at home.
Yeah.
We haven't lost back-to-back all year.
Like,
But have we had bad back-to-back performances, or even
We have.
3 or 4 bad, consistently bad performances? And I'm not trying to put down, I'm just, this is where my concerns come. I feel like we just...
last year, we had a spell where you would have thought Wigan hadn't won the game. Listening to people. Won to lost the game. Hull, Warrington, we were poor against Huddersfield at home, and it took a last 20-minute brace to win that game. And it was all around this time. It was August. Things started kick going. It was August last year that we lost to Leeds at Headingley.
We got butchered at Headingley. And then we were written off then.
Is that when we come back and beat them in the cup the week after? And
No.
scored
No,
that
no,
try, or is that
so-
what we're going
That's
for?
when we won Magic Weekend later with nobody on either team. It was, there were
Will
no stars.
Farriman played half back.
Yeah,
Right.
there were no stars on either team.
But we went on a run from then on of beating.
We didn't lose again.
We didn't lose again.
Same as the year before. The last game we lost was the cup semi-final in July, 23rd, 24th.
10th
Around
of
there.
August last year.
And 10th of August was our last loss last year. So if we do that,
July and August last year.
we might not this year. We might not. And if we don't do that this year, then we'll not win 3 in a row. But we might do.
I think the week off after Friday is going to be quite big for us. Joe Pep always talks about a reset. And I feel like might with Blair Catalan, reset that week, hopefully get some bodies back. Like
We're missing,
you say,
we're missing the best player in the league.
We are.
We're not suddenly an awful team.
No, I'm not going that far.
Go and send them on holiday for a couple of days. Come back, do a training. Have a few days off. And then target that week after.
We're not an awful team. We're
No.
just not looking like Wigan.
We're not clicking in attack, but then, of course, Bevan French is very important to our attack.
Oh,
Forwards,
Seriously, how dare Wigan
have a good play.
have a good player and complain when he's injured?
No, well,
Because anyone else gets injured in this league,
they just keep on carry on,
they
which isn't true.
carry on and just win games and no one ever mentions it. Not
No.
like...
Every other team ever whose best player goes missing and they
Yeah.
lose. Yeah, well, that's. I wish I said that before. That's by the by. Forwards, we have a few of our better forwards missing, but I can't remember what point I was going to make then. I mean, we're missing our best player in the league. He's really important to our attack, and I disagree with the accusation that has been levelled towards the players that their fire isn't in their bellies anymore. I disagree with that. I think there's just to be very motivated. Winning everything doesn't then just make you want to not win anymore, especially when you've been knocked out of the cup. You targeting that grand final. Players like winning, especially professional sports people like winning. They don't stop liking winning when they win a lot.
You can't... It's impossible to play 100% for 30 games a season.
Well, yeah, but that's what people expect the champions to do. St. Helens were the same whenever they lost in that period of 4.
Well, yeah.
They were the same if they lost a game. Like when they lost to us in 2022, they still went on to win the league. But that was the world was caving in then for them. It's the same for us now. You got a period of dominance. If you lose a game, all of a sudden the knives are out.
As we said it last week. Matty Pete's got enough credit in the bank
Yeah, of course he has.
to get this right.
And Matty Pete himself has told us in the past, he knows if he loses 8 games in a row, his job's on the line.
But that's not what's happening, is it?
No.
I think that's it, really. Talking about that. Obviously, Wade finished a really, really good try. Havard
Got himself a try.
got himself a try.
That's Havard off the naked run.
I think how many is still on that?
There'll still be some.
Yeah, I think the bit like you said, the week off's going to be big. Use it as a reset. Like you said, getting back, get it done, just say right, get a couple of bodies back. Our peak to the grand final starts now. Our running and we go. That's the aim.
It normally does.
To win it.
It normally starts in
We'll
August.
do that. And I'm back again. I've not lost confidence in Pete or the coaching staff or the players. I think I still back them. I think, like I said before, I'm a bit concerned at the back-to-back, but I think, like you say, peak at the right time, and I think a good time to target would be win this week, have a week off, and then let's get back to it. Our run to the back end of the season starts there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Definitely.
We'll see what this team's made of.
Right, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back with the news. Thank you for coming back after the break. Matty, you've been having a look at a few things, but what's caught your eye this week?
My eye catcher this week was that I saw someone in the NRL sphere, I can't remember who it was now, speaking about how NRL players used to have day jobs that flashed up on the screen whenever they did something good or got subbed onto the pitch. So it would come up and say, I don't know, Des Hasler, age 26, teacher. Cliff Lyons, Cliffy was a scaffolder. David Gillespie was a bin man. Well, it said garbage collector.
Bin man.
Should have said waste management consultant. And Paul Sirenan was a policeman. Wayne Bennett was a policeman as well, actually, when he was playing. So it got me thinking about some Wigan Warriors players or some Super League players, what job they would do if they were not rugby league players, or if they had to have a day job as well to supplement their income.
Just they still have to be playing. You can't go, such and such already is now an accountant, so you've been an accountant then. They still have to be playing, so they don't have a job now.
So we had a few thoughts, didn't we? We thought Jay Field might be barista because he loves his coffee.
Yeah,
definitely. Talk about coffee.
But, this might be good to talk about next week.
Zach Hardacre, I thought, could be tattoo artist.
Yeah,
because he's practicing on himself.
Nightclub bouncer.
Dean Hadley.
Dean Hadley would be a nightclub bouncer. Yeah.
Bald guy, black suit, big, tall, just stands at the club with his counter counting people in.
Dean Hadley, Hadley and Sam Luckley could be them, yeah.
They could be the pair on the doors workers.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things.
Guillermo Aspiro-Biche, we already know what his day job is.
Yeah, but I think he's had a promotion, mate. I don't think he's on the factory floor anymore.
No, he manages.
Yeah.
Manages sausage.
He's setting up contracts.
Sausage production manager.
Let's put this out on the Twitter. Right.
What job would people have? We didn't think some more.
We said Wardle would be the awkward trader that comes to your house that do some work and you're like, do you want to brew, mate? He's like, nah, you're alright. So I've been doing this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And, I'm just going to go out, mate. Are you alright locking up yourself? And you get out of the situation just because it's a bit, you're trying to make conversation, but it's just a bit.
You had a boss one for Cade Ellis. What did you say Cade Ellis would do if he got told his day job?
It weren't me. I can't take credit for this.
Oh, was that Lewis?
It was Lewis.
I say Cade Ellis, this might be linking into the one we did about the beers where he said he was a pint of Guinness, but I could just see him as a barman. He definitely works behind an Irish bar, like just serving pints of Guinness to people instead.
Yes.
Pints of Guinness, Irish cider.
I just can see him behind a bar.
And I bet he pours it properly, doesn't he? Like,
oh yeah.
Sausage rolls and Scotch eggs.
The Guinness symbol pointed back to Dublin.
He lets it settle.
He takes it seriously.
For 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And then tops it up, not by pulling the handle down, but by pushing it back.
Points the clover towards Dublin or whatever.
Yeah, makes the clover with the...
Just one leaf though, it was gagging. That's good.
That'll lead on to next week, that.
All right,
was
we'll
no
do,
game.
we'll
130, we'll go through the 117 of Wigan. What would they do if they weren't Wigan?
Or we can just do a Super League All-Star things we can think of, like if we can't think of somebody for,
Cross that bridge next week. It's a good eye catcher.
That is a good eye catcher there, you And Duke's had an eye catcher, they told me, which was just Ruben Garrick nearly saving a try.
No. It's things like this that I love about the game. He runs 200 metres.
At least.
Probably
more 200 metres.
To stop a break down the centre that then goes to the right wing and back out to the left wing, and Xavier Coates scores in the corner. The kicker misses, he hits the post, kicking it from the last blade of grass.
Which means they win by 2 points.
Means they got a golden point, and Ruben Garrick kicks the penalty to win the game. Like, that's just someone getting...
Is it extra 1% made the team go to golden point? So yeah, I do like that. That is eye-catching.
Lewis, the news.
The news. We've got a couple of news articles to get through this week. I'll try and be as quick as I can. First one, and I think this has only recently come out. I only saw it this morning. John Bateman. Not John Bateman, John Bateman. The reason he's called John Bateman now is because apparently at training he has been bitten by a spider. And obviously in Australia they have very deadly different species of animals.
Up there in the north they do, yeah. Up there in the north.
And there's actually no talk. He's had to go to hospital, and there's actually rumour that he could end up losing his leg.
By the sounds of it now, he's probably not going to lose his leg.
Because I caught it early enough.
But I think that was the worry. They were saying literally they're trying to save his leg. And I was like, oh my word, I had to check the calendar and make sure it went April 1st.
Yeah,
I thought that just can't be a real news story.
Well, that would never happen in Bradford. And it actually would never never happen in Wigan. And I don't think it would ever happen in Canberra either because they don't get it's just too cold there for those deadly spiders. It's only up there in the north where you get them.
There you go.
So
Morgan Smithies and...
Matt Nicholson.
They're safe, yeah. Dom Young's safe.
Tell a lot of English fellas playing down there.
Yeah, Herbie's touch and goal there in Brisbane.
No spiders.
I think
but
he's
you might get
okay.
a crocodile.
I think he's okay there in Brizzy. I think he's okay from the spiders.
I knew someone who said that once about like, would you move to Australia? Just the problem is in Australia, I get it, the weather, the beach culture, and again, in those one parts, not in the other part, the Canberra parts, whatever. But he said there's just too many things over there that can kill you.
Well, only near the top of the
Do you know what
mountain.
I mean?
You know, there's things in the UK.
What
that you
we
think
got over here?
You're more likely to be killed by a
Dogs.
cow than killed by a spider if you live in Canberra.
And working class people. Now, the second news article they've got on here is George Wylam's.
George Wylam?
Wylam's. And the reason he's Wylam's because he's not necessarily penned a new deal, but he's basically come out and said that he's like committed to wanting to stay. And I think there was rumour about a possible Dolphins move.
I'm glad it went that way because how would you have fit Dolphin into his name?
You know, he couldn't have done it. That would have been impossible.
Dolliums.
George Finsium.
That'd have been much harder for me. But yeah, he's kind of just said that's fell through. He's staying at Warrington, so rumour has died down.
So you could say that he's staying with the Wolves instead of joining the Wolf of Christian Wolf.
Nice, man. Sorry, I was thinking of where you're going, but yeah, Christian Wolf being the coach. You could say that, Matty. You could. I can't do the accent as good as you, Matty, but Joel Tomkin
Yes.
is been announced as the permanent coach now of Catalan Dragons.
Yes. I think Joel Tomkin is going to be the head coach. There's talk of Michael McIlorum and Mitch Pearce being his assistant coaches. I hope they just go fully bad boys of the league. And
The rectum of Wigan.
the 1990s Detroit Pistons of the Super League and just completely wreck shop. They sign a bunch of thugs. The whole pack is just enforcers. Brad Singleton, get on the plane. Liam Watts, get on the plane. Harper Cassidy.
He's get on to Ryan Bailey.
Yeah, get on to Ryan Bailey.
Bale's got a gig for
I
him.
just hope they have 16 enforcers and then Aspie Rabiche playing at the back of them. Just fully make it Bad Boys 13.
Wayne, got a job for you, lad.
Yeah.
That's going to be thinking though, isn't it? Because they're going to have to new coach. And if that does end up happening, they're going to have a completely inexperienced coaching team.
Yes.
Then they're going to have to give them guys some time. They're going to have to appreciate they're a long way off, winning Challenge Cups like they did a couple of years
I
ago and
think
getting
the
to
thing
grand
is, though,
finals like under McNamara. They're going through a transition period with that staff base.
Do you not think that's all linked? And obviously the point that we're going to talk about in a second might be worth mentioning with this for Catalan.
Yeah. That can't be the coach.
Go on, you mentioned it.
Well,
so
that can't be the coaching staff, though. Really.
No.
Joel Tompkins has coached, 3 games?
But if
Mitch Pearce and Michael McIlorum. Michael's still playing.
But the talk is that Seguier, Fage and Yaha have been told to look elsewhere at the end of the season.
They're not in the future
Do
plans.
you reckon this is just a point of, listen, we've missed our window.
Yeah.
We've got to start again. Maybe McNamara realised that and that's why he's sort of moved on. I can't go through it again.
A bit like I've took you as far as I could say, we missed out on the grand final, we managed to win a Challenge Cup, but now it's time again for the next phase to happen and the
Sometimes you
transition
just
to
don't
come
have
in.
the energy to go again.
Yeah.
You know, like, Wayne in 18, did he have enough energy to do another 2 years and rebuild and be ready for 2021? Like, it takes a lot out of you. And there's very few coaches that do 7, 8, 9, 10 years, isn't there?
Been a long time, McNamara.
I don't necessarily, it depends what the expectation is for me. If they're happy to give this time and take new coaches on board and accept it's a transition, they're going to have a couple of years to build something. If that is, and you're going to back that, fair enough. If you're going to sign Joel Tompkins, he has a bad run into the end of the season, you give him the off-season, he comes in, loses a couple of games at the start of next year, and then you sack him. It's like, what point's of that? You knew he was an inexperienced coach. Do you know what I mean?
The signings will tell you a lot. If they give
they've already signed Tommy Sexton.
I think that's a good signing.
Yeah.
It's a young signing. It's a 25, 26-year-old.
Yeah. If Joel's okayed that, then I presume
If
so.
you-
I don't know if Bernard Gouache is the guy to give this time. I remember him giving 2 thumbs down once in the crowd. Well, that was when Steve McNamara was in his heyday as Catalan boss, probably when they were winning Challenge Cups and that. And he was on Sky giving them 2 thumbs down for the performance at all. That crowd is vocal. If you don't play well, they will let you know about it. They keep turning up, which is good, but they'll let you know if you're not playing great.
If they go young, they try and get some more French talent in, because I think they've gone away from that a little bit. Obviously, Sam's moving on.
So letting them 3 French lads go. Farsegia and letting all them go.
Time will tell with this one, wouldn't it? So there's a couple of things that come out on the news where we say we're going to have to give it time, but that's why it's new. You're going to see what happens in the future. And it's
Sounds a bit
just
of a cop out, doesn't it? But this time next year we'll know whether they'll...
I wonder if they'll be better now Joel is confirmed for next year.
Well, they can start to build stuff, can't
Yeah.
they? He can put his identity in there, his trade, he can get him kind of playing how he wants to play.
Because they haven't been great, as an interim. They haven't been great. They've conceded a lot of points.
But this is the weird thing, though, do you not think? Interims get a lot of stick. Oh, they've not been great under the interim. But if they were great, they wouldn't have sacked the coach in the first place.
No, but not. Sometimes the interim comes in and just
Do
incredible.
you think they got worse
Yeah.
since McNamara's gone?
Yeah. They were 1 in 7 or 8. We keep doing the Mick McCarthy thing. Genuinely, I think it can. I think it could. I think they've got a bit worse because they've shipped a lot more points. But he's made some brave calls. He's left a few players out.
See how it goes. Last couple of pieces of news then. Ryan Mattison is coming to wire on loan. I've not got a pun for that one. It's just Ryan Mattison comes to wire on loan. I can't fit his wire into Ryan Mattison's name. Bit of a...
They did this last year.
Yeah, they did.
John Bateman.
They did.
A second rower on loan with about 10 games to go. It's certainly not...
I think it leaks desperation. We need something to make a push for the top 6. Just try and get someone in who we can.
My thoughts on this: good player, bad deal. If you're getting him for 2.5 years, I think so. Like off and go for Lee. He's a good player, but I wouldn't like to just have him for a couple of months and then send him. But I don't know if they will. They might. They never signed Bateman permanently, did they? But they might sign Matheson permanently.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I think he's an okay player. Like he's.
They had just made a second row change with Sam Stone, hadn't they? Where they brought Sam Stone in.
He scored at the weekend.
I'm just trying to think who else plays second row for them. Is Lockie
Fitzgibbon,
Fitzgibbon still playing?
Gibbons is a bit of a signal, didn't he? I think that's why they brought Bateman in last year.
And Curry's playing 13, so yeah.
George Lawler signed a new deal at Cass. 3-year extension. I think he's 29 now. I think I saw on the news article before, so having until he's 32.
He's a decent player.
Yeah, seems like he's got a regular form. He does his job, doesn't he? Gets his minutes in.
He does.
He's not the problem at Cassidy.
No, he's not.
No, George Lawler's fine if you've got a functioning pack. He can't just do it by himself.
Exactly.
And then the last one, Kevin Walters announced to be the Australia coach for the Ashes series. So, former Brisbane coach, former Origin coach, I believe, coached the Queensland Maroons, and now he's going to take over Malmalinga coaching the Aussies.
Now, the question is, he picked his son for Brisbane. Will he be able to manage to pick his son for Australia? I think there's probably a bit more competition for 9.
Yeah.
That's who, Spencer Leniu had a go at, that 9, calling him a snitch, or whatever he called him.
Well, Spencer Leniu's had a go at everybody over there. Yeah. There's not many people who he hasn't had a go at Spencer Leniu.
So that'd be interesting. See what sort of a team he picks. The big news, which isn't really news, the big rumour, is that he might be without some of his best players. Hamaso Tabuai-Fidow and Payne Haas and Tino Fasumala could all be heading for Samoa duties. Okay. Which
has Samoa got an international game the same time the Ashes series is on?
They have the Pacific Championship.
And is that where they play Tonga?
The Tonga and New Zealand will be in that. And
I think it's Fiji. I think it's 4 teams.
Is there 4 teams in that? I don't know if there is 4 teams in that. It won't be Lebanon. It's surely not Lebanon. They weren't in the second division of it.
Papua New Guinea, maybe? PNG?
Whoever won the second division of it last year goes up into the top division.
I don't know.
Samoa, Tonga. Anyway,
so those players are going to have to decide: are you pledging your allegiance to Australia or are you or Tonga? Obviously,
I think for now,
New Zealand players go to Tonga.
For now, they could still play for Blues or Queensland and Samoa, which is I think what they're going to do. Okay. So that would obviously weaken them. Obviously, Hammer as an outside back. There's loads of incredible outside backs they could bring in. The big one is that's your starting front row. Tino and Payne.
Will Payne be going to Samoa, possibly Samoa as well?
Payne, Tino and Hammer.
Because you guys know more about this than me, what's the rules on, if they say like next year, can they then just decide, no, this year I'm going to play for Australia, or are they cemented in with that?
For now, you can jump between Tier 1 and Tier 2
nations. Talks that
is Samoa still a Tier 2? Is it only England, New Zealand and Australia?
For now, yes, those are the only 3
The problem is if they do really well in this,
Samoa will become Tier 1 if they win it, probably.
Which I think is right.
Well, I think
Got to a
Samoa.
World Cup final at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For
Yeah.
a tier 2 nation.
I think
when you step
Samoa
in
and
the big
England
boys.
should be on the same tier. Samoa and England should definitely be on the same tier. I would like to see, and I don't know why they would do this because this is just what I would like to see. They're not going to do this because I've said it. But what I would like to see is the continuation of Origin being separate. I would like guys to be able to play Origin if they were born in New South Wales, for example, but their parents are Samoan. I would like them to be able to play for Blues and play for Samoa.
Which they can currently do,
Which they can currently
But they
do.
couldn't do that if Samoa was a tier 1 nation. If they
Correct.
play Samoa, they can't and play Origin.
Yeah, correct.
Right, that's it.
Which is why Victor Radley couldn't play Origin if
Because he's chosen England.
if selected.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a weird situation. I'm just looking at the details of this. So there's 2 tiers by the look of it. The Men's Pacific Cup and the Men's Pacific Bowl. The Pacific Cup has New Zealand, Samoa and Tonga in it. And the Pacific Bowl has the Cook Islands, Fiji and Papua New Guinea. But South Africa were in the qualifying and they didn't qualify. Cook Islands beat them. So you're talking New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, are they all in that tier 1 level? Because I would say so. But you have the issue with Origin and...
Yeah, Origin would then mean people would not be choosing Samoa, so then Samoa would have to come back down to a tier 2 level, which meant that people who want to play Origin could then choose Samoa again, which they would go back to tier 1 level.
So your effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
So really, like you're saying, Matty, that the solution to this, if you want a strong international team, is you say, look, you can play for Samoa as a tier 1 nation, and that will not affect your Origin eligibility.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to do it for everyone, wouldn't you?
People from New Zealand, yeah.
Victor Radley would be eligible.
Is that a bad thing?
Don't know.
No, I'm not saying he'd get selected either, but...
No, but
The other thing is,
you see some people in Australia might be peed off.
Origin's
You know, in-
they see Origin as the pinnacle, don't they?
Yeah.
So the other thing, I was going to say, the other thing you could do is you could have like Samoa versus New Zealand as a big match, while Origin, same time as Origin. That's a big thing, then, isn't it? Almost like Samoa and New Zealand are in Origin, kind of. Not in Origin, but like it's the same thing. So it's
You do have the issue then that they'd be playing.
3 Test series at the same time. But then,
But the Samoan players would be playing Origin and Kiwi players could be playing Origin and...
no, but that would mean. No, but if you said the Origin rules are as they are now, that's another.
Oh,
way.
yes. Sorry, I get what you mean.
Because it could be a good rivalry with Tonga there with Samoa, couldn't there? You've got the kind of Australia-New Zealand thing,
They've all got a rivalry with New Zealand.
You've got Samoa and
Yeah.
Tonga, that could be two, Island. We're a bit different because we're the only really strong tier 1 Northern Hemisphere country, aren't we? France aren't there. Yeah, they're probably the closest thing to it.
Yeah,
They get some development, but they're not at the same level. But some rivalry there, and that could be built around it.
It's a shame that you mentioned that South Africa failed to qualify against Cook Islands. There were big hopes for South Africa. They beat America a couple of times last year. There were big hopes for South Africa, and to see them, Cook Islands are not the strongest of sides. And I don't know when this
for a while.
I don't know when this qualification was, but their best player would probably have been playing for Salford at the time with Masters, who plays halfback for them.
I think it was pre-season.
Oh, the pre-season.
Yeah. Right, that wraps it up. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back around the grounds. So, going to go around the grounds and we're starting off at St Helens. They lost to Lee, 16 points to 4. Really big win for Lee. We'd said that the big results in the last few weeks had all been at home. Beating us and beating Hull KR. They had to do it away from home and they've gone to Saints and won. Now, it doesn't really matter how poor or strong Saints are. Going to Saints is always difficult.
I think you've got to give them credit. I think they're an informed team at the minute. I think the big question you were saying just before we started recording this section, Dukes, was, are they going to run out of steam or can they keep it going? They have got some probably more favourable fixtures coming up now. They've got the hard ones out the way and they've took some big scalps along the way. So you've got to be proud of
saying
themselves.
that, but they've got Warrington and Leeds next 2 weeks.
Yeah, why you're struggling a bit. Leeds will be a tricky
After
one.
that,
and
we get
after
a
that,
nice
they've
run.
got, I think, Cass.
Interesting there, Lewis, that you would say that Lee are the form team in the comp because they are also top of the egg.
Power egg rankings or
Our
whatever.
egg what are they called? The egg.com
Power ranking.
Power rankings.
Where are we getting? 9th?
No, I think we're 4th somehow, even though we were already 4th. I can't remember. Anyway, The egg.com power rankings has got Lee top, which agrees with your theory that they are the form team.
I think the ratio of wins in the last however many games when I go back would back it up as well. I think it's hard to argue against it.
They've had 3 quality wins in a row. Lee were good value for this win. Offengo, he had a try disallowed for a technical, offside downtown thing where in the past that would have been given because he was played onside by somebody else touching the ball. That then he did score twice. I think they were really good value.
I don't want to take your segment off you, Matty, but do you agree with what we said before about Monster Big Man of the Week, or would you like to give it to somebody else?
I think so. Offengawi, I thought about, but you can't score 2 tries and have a third one disallowed and still be underrated. So I think you're right to give Owen Trout the Monster Big. In fact, Owen Trout could probably have won it most weeks. We've done the Monster Big Man hard work.
It was immense in this game. He took it to Walmsley and Leeds.
Yeah, not sponsored by Monster Energy yet. I think that Owen Trout is well deserving of winning that award for this game.
You can see on games like this why Wayne wants the conversation with him.
Yeah.
Does he strike you as a Wayne player?
Yeah.
No fear of reputation, never takes a backward step or gets stuck into it. Big lot, sprints off the line, puts a shot on Walmsley where they both go down.
Makes his carries.
He's no respect for reputation. He's a Wayne type player, isn't he? I think he'd love to coach him.
Owen, we need somebody to play 13. Yeah. We need somebody to play second row. Yeah. We need somebody to play centre. Probably. Yeah.
Can you play 80 minutes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to say something here. Lee, obviously, 4-0 up at half time, hadn't scored. They took the option of getting a few points. Saints haven't put points on teams this year. Bit of an interesting tactic to take to every opportunity. Missing a few of the key men. Saints. Do you think that was
It wasn't exactly perfect weather, which always makes me want to lean towards taking 2.
I also think they're possibly looking at, Saints have struggled to score points this season. The attack has been questioned. So I think maybe
and missing Wellesby.
Knowing that our attack is struggling, do we just want to keep the scoreboard ticking over with 2 points when we have opportunities? I can understand the theory of wanting to do that. If your attack is where you need to improve a bit, what you've been working on, just keep the scoreboard ticking over with penalties whilst we're working on building.
I've got a question for you two, much like your question though about Owen Trout.
I just want to say something. We're talking about Saints attack. If you ignore playing Salford, Saints haven't scored. Have only scored 20 points once.
20 points are over.
20 points
or
over twice.
Since when?
Since round 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Round 3, they beat Wakey at Wakey 26-6. They beat Leeds in the Cup 22-14.
Wow.
And
that is...
They beat Wakefield 26-14.
But I was going to ask you if we should take the title of worst 60 seconds in professional rugby league away from Jordan Desiree and give it to Kyle Felt for letting that ball bounce ridiculously, then messing it up so he gave away a goal line dropout and then launching the goal line dropout into the pie stand miles out on the floor.
Desiree's still worse.
You think? Yeah, I think Desiree's disaster was still worse.
Desiree ended up with him not on the pitch.
I think the problem with Desiree as well was that it was his first 60 seconds. At least Carl Felt had played an hour before this disaster. Desiree got subbed on and then literally dropped the biggest stinker in the rugby league history of 60 seconds.
Oh, sorry, I will apologise. It's 3 times they've done it. They beat Catalan, Huddersfield and Wakey.
Catalan, Huddersfield and Wakey, right, okay.
So, not a great try-scoring record for St. Helens.
No, and without their best player.
But they're also on positive 273 because they played Salford.
I also think you can do this the other way as well. Besides that blip they had Lee against, who they got battered by? Was it Leeds?
Leeds, yes.
Besides that...
Put points on though that day.
Yeah, they did. And
they just shipped them.
That's one of those we say, we've had a couple of fixtures. How can you score that many points and still lose a rugby league game? That would have been the problem that week. But you only credit Lee for their attack, especially when they shift it right to left and stuff like that. But actually, they've been putting in some really good defensive performances. They've been keeping teams well, kept Saints to 4.
And Tessie Hughes was like a star.
He does.
The real star.
Good and
he's a real star. I mean, I hope they can keep hold of him for the sake of the league. But he's not a real star there. He's another one with clearly a rocket under him because he didn't play great last year for his team.
Again, I know
talk they maybe weren't. Him and Offengower maybe weren't wanted at their NRL clubs. There's a talk that
where did he come from, Tessie?
Dolphins.
Yeah,
the talk that maybe they weren't wanted. and at Lee they feel wanted, and that's why they're putting in these excellent performances.
Still quite young as well, Tess. You know,
Yeah,
he's 23.
Yeah, he's a very young player.
Should have been 22 when he was playing at Dolphins a year before, so he's still a young lad for playing the backs over there.
So I think he's an excellent sign. I thought St Helens fans were very clever to try and combat the leopard print C in the away end, which, by the way, I don't think any club has ever sold so many replica jerseys as the leopard print ones do. That every Leigh fan seems to have one. But Saints fan combated that by dressing as red plastic seats. Something very basic. Dress like a red plastic seat, blend in. Then only one side of the stand is, garish and colourful. Everyone else is just basic.
Yeah, I like it.
They changed into that at about 65 minutes of the game, actually. They changed out of the Saints tops and into the red plastic seat disguise after about 65
Security
minutes.
must have had a difficult job checking all the bags with them.
Yeah.
Seat.
Everyone's got a plastic seat in their bag. They're going to disguise themselves after an hour of the game.
Right.
I'm referencing the all left,
Yeah.
in case anyone didn't notice.
That's not called a St Helens walk like we
Well,
even though every single blooming fan
No,
base
because
does
Sky
it.
Sports doesn't just focus in on them streaming out.
All I'm going to say is, it's pretty clear that Wigan are the only team to ever get a penalty.
All the rest are from Wigan.
All the rest are from Wigan.
Yeah.
Wigan never have an injury.
We're going to the only team who suffer when their star player is injured.
We're
Everybody
the
else is
only-
able to win games
yeah.
when their star players go away.
Yeah.
Basically, we're the only professional team and everyone else is part-time still.
Yes. And
Don't forget that one.
Wigan fans are the only ones to walk out of the
Oh,
stadium.
yeah. Everyone else stays till the bitter end.
Yes. Yeah, because that's really the case.
And if you try and bring up the fact that other teams do it, people will just tell you that Wigan do it. Yeah, missing the point there, Paul.
Right. Leeds Salford. Leeds win 42-6. Was really, for the last 2 minutes, sat trying to think of something different to say about Salford, but
Don't have much to say about this game. Expected result.
Yeah, they won
Leeds
last
put
week.
points on, over 40 points. Salford struggled.
they
Probably
stuck
the way
in
we
well to half
expected.
time, 10-6 at half time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why does it say there that Jake Connor scored and then Edgel Alfie scored? Why has he got his name backwards?
Don't know.
Good at that.
Never works well. Right, Wakefield. Went to Huddersfield, 46 points to 10.
I think I just would be disappointed with this.
Yeah, I was watching
Very
this game.
much so. It sounds like the obvious thing to say, but I don't even think they'd have been disappointed if they got beat. But to be beat with a difference of 36 points.
No, they were in this game for a while, and
It was 6-4, sorry, after 20 minutes. And then Lachlan Walmsley scored, Mike McMeekin scored,
But
Corey Hall scored in
for
the
the
next 10 minutes.
for the next 10 minutes, it felt like every time Wakefield got the ball, they could just roll down the field and put it to one of the wingers and they were going to score. And it was so easy. Then they crashed over a couple of times, and you're thinking, well, you conceding all different types of tries here, Huddersfield. You've got to get it together.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the thing for me. If a team loses points or whatever and you concede 30-odd points, but you make the winger score in the corner for 5 of them tries, you go, listen, we've defended in the middle well and they've just executed. Yeah, we've not been good enough out there. It was the fact that it was a centre score and then a prop charging over, and nowhere looked good defensively. At all.
No, they didn't look good in this game, Huddersfield. After, the first half against us, they looked reasonably good. They beat Castle the week before that.
Poor. Really, really poor.
Bad week for Robertson.
Right. Over to Saturday.
Those two games were both on Friday night, and you were trying to flip between them. And it was just so disappointing that they were both blowouts.
Yeah.
You're thinking at the start of the season, when you pick those, you think Huddersfield, Wakefield, they could be, in and around the same sort of play. Leeds and Salford. Salford did really well last year. Leeds looking to get in the top 6. And actually, when it comes round to it, I know it's July and that's a long time into the season, but when it comes round to it, they're just both absolute dud games.
It was a very unfortunate weekend, really,
Yeah.
wasn't it, from Thursday to Sunday, with only, obviously,
That's
game
one.
against Hull we've talked about didn't really show up. The Thursday game was probably the only, maybe Sunday as well, obviously we'll talk about that in a second,
Yeah,
but
Sunday,
I think besides that,
Should we go on to another dud game?
a bit
On Saturday?
disappointing. Yeah,
Hull KR. Did anyone think that they weren't going to beat in Catalan?
right, exactly.
No.
It was a bit like the Leeds and Salford, you knew they were going to
Yeah,
win, you
you
probably
knew
knew they were going to win by quite a lot.
34-6.
My favourite moment from this game involves you, Jukes, because Mikey Lewis was aura farming, doing that stupid dance that you always do when he scored. So now you're going to have to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And particularly on the side of the pitch while I'm batting in a high pressure situation trying to save a draw
You did really well at that.
away at top of the league, you could stop doing that dance to distract me.
I actually think it calmed you down enough that you thought with clarity.
No, it didn't. And now Mikey Lewis has done it. You won't do anything that's associated with Mikey
Can
Lewis.
you imagine, like in professional cricket when like fans are moving and like the batter will stand away and put his hand up and say, "So sorry, but something's in my eye lane or the sight screen or whatever." Can you imagine you just stepping back to a ball? It's like, "What's up, mate?" You're like, "My captain's just doing a stupid dance on the boundary and I can't. I just need to stop before I can actually."
To be fair, I wasn't behind the screen.
He wasn't behind the screen, but I could see him at the corner of my eye, and I knew what he was doing.
Be quite distracted, no matter where it is.
I knew what he was doing because he'd been doing it all week. Yeah.
Listen, I'm liberated with the free back.
If anyone hasn't seen the Aura Farm dance, how would you describe? You just came up with it out of nowhere, and now apparently Mikey Lewis has seen it.
No, I didn't come up with it.
What is it? No, I know you didn't come up with it, but you seem to have watched it.
It's the
before.
boat racing.
Yeah, it's a boat race.
No.
I've seen boat racing before. There's not usually a guy on the front dancing.
So my understanding is, in this league, right, you have to have a kid at the front dancing.
Okay.
And
also, it's a kid who does it.
You get points for how well the kid dances, right? If he falls off, it's a 10-second penalty. But if he goes off in what's classed as a dramatic style, it gives you a 10-second advantage.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
And who's come up with this? Eddie Hearn?
I don't know. I've never seen it before, but I follow him on Instagram. I followed him when he had 3 fans.
The kid?
Yeah.
What's that one you showed me where they start off with the seatbelts in cars and they undo them and start? Is it Kajitsu?
Kajitsu. He's mad for finding random sport. Kajitsu, World Cup of keeping the balloon up in the air.
How good is that?
Tag. There was a World Cup of tag he was showing me once.
Pro Kabaddi. Pro Kabaddi is an elite sport.
Pro Kabaddi is the most normal one you watch. Marble racing.
I do a little bit.
He was a big team green.
Kajitsu was unbelievable when you showed me that. Let's say just YouTube Kajitsu.
Describe Kajitsu then for us.
It's the fact they start off with the seatbelts on. It just gets me. They have to take the belt off and then.
You don't have to, but you're disadvantaged if you don't. What's the sort of UFC one where if your opponent comes in overweight, you can get your dad involved.
That can't be. I still can't believe that's true.
It's an actual rule. If your opponent comes in over the
Isn't
weight,
it some Russian or
mixed martial arts in Poland or something.
Yeah,
it's something like Russian UFC or whatever, something like that.
If your opponent, comes in overweight, your dad can fight with you.
That's just ridiculous.
How'd you find all this stuff? I just remember him going, I'm a big fan of the Jaipur Pink Panthers in Pro Kabaddi or something. And then next week he's watching Team Green on marble racing.
He's watching some Polish guy and his dad getting crap into somebody inside a cage.
3-on-3 mixed martial arts. There was Eddie Hall versus 2 people.
I saw that.
There was UFC but with suits of armour. He watched that one. And now his latest one is this Aura Farming boat race.
It's brilliant.
The boats do go quite fast. I've seen a bit of it. You showed me a bit of it. But yeah, Mikey Lewis has done that dance.
He's got a race tomorrow.
You will not be associated with Mikey Lewis in any way, shape or form, so you can stop doing that dance. Thank you very much.
Well, let's go on to Sunday's game and wrap this up so then people can go
I was
and
going
watch
to say, we
all
actually
those
talked
sports.
about Catalan. It can't carry on like this.
It can.
It can.
34 points to 6. Yeah. Joel Tomkins has got his...
Joel Tomkin.
Joel Tomkin.
He's got his work cut out there, hasn't he?
Like you said, Matty, now that they've got that kind of structure in place, he's the permanent coach, the players can buy into what he wants to do, and, I've faith that he's in there for a long time. Will that improve things? Only time will tell, but it's a starting point, innit?
Yeah.
Should give the players a bit more kind of consistency going forward. They know what's happening, they know what state of the club's in, they know the long-term plans, and they can start building something. So, see if that does anything for them.
The Sunday game. Castleford beat Warrington.
No, this was a shock.
Before we get into it, that now puts, we were talking about it a lot last week, does that change any of your opinions on Warrington making the top 6?
We're early in a minute, so look at the table.
Because
they're struggling now because Wakefield and Hull both won.
Both won. The 3 points behind Hull. The points difference is miles worse.
This game was going on while I was at the Cumbria derby there, so I didn't really get a lot of it. But
it's when you dive into the details of who they've got to play. Wakefield have got to play Salford twice. Hull have got to play Salford. Yeah, so you're already counting 2 points. Hull have got to play Warrington, so that's going to be really tough there.
that'll be the big game.
That'll be a big fixture.
I think Wakey have got the best position here.
They don't have to play the other 2.
Couple of difficult games in here. They've got Leeds, they've got Saints, and they've got us and Hull KR.
Oh, right, so yeah, loads of different games.
But Salford twice, Huddersfield and Castleford.
Oh, right. So you'd think that's
4
wins.
difficult.
So you think Wakefield have got 4 wins?
So they're 2 points ahead now, assuming that they win the 2 Salford, Huddersfield and Cas games. That would take them to 28. Hull and Wire have got difficult run-ins. They've got to play each other, so they're going to take points off each other.
Oh, so what you're saying is, you're not saying Wakefield are in, but you're saying Warrington, you're out. Like I told Catalan they were out a few weeks ago.
I think Wire are out.
You think Wire are out?
This running they've got to go to Lee. They've got Wigan. They've got Catalans, Huddersfield and Salford. But then Lee again, Hull and Hull.
Hull FC twice, or Hull and then Hull KR?
Hull FC and then Hull KR are the last 2. Hull FC could still be fighting for top 6, so they're not going to have a walk in there.
So is Hull FC the second last game of the regular round?
Yeah. And Hull KR is the last game, and I don't want to be funny, Hull KR are probably going to have a week off at the end of it after that, so they're not going to rest people, and will want to win at home.
Warrington has the toughest fixtures.
Yeah. I think they're in serious trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe they're out. I don't want to write off George Williams.
I'm not writing anyone off.
Especially now he's recommitted to George Wirelams or whatever you called him before.
But I think my opinion's changed. I think Wakey are favourites to make the 6. I think Hull and Wire.
Okay.
We did this last season. We did this last week. Sorry, and I can't remember. I didn't back it.
I
think I might have actually gone with
you
Wire.
You might have backed Hull. I think.
I do fancy Hull. And I think the fact they're 3 points away from Wire is a big one. Not 2. I think an extra point will.
Hull are currently in possession, aren't they? Because they've got the extra.
I almost wish that actually Hull and Wire would play each other sooner rather than the second last game of the season. Do you know what I mean? Because if they were to play each other in 2 weeks' time, I'd say that's a must-win for Wire.
If Wire lose out there.
If Wire lose that, they'd be out. But I think they could be out of the race before they even play that second last game.
Well, Hull have got 2 nice games. They've got Huddersfield and Salford. But then their running is difficult. Saints, Leeds, KR, Wire. They go to Catalan's last game of the season.
Saints, Leeds, KR.
So you're looking at Wakefield having the fixtures that you think are bankers. They've got 4 bankers.
They've got 4 that you would back them to get 8 points in.
I think Hull FC though, where they could turn. You can see them just
brilliant
turning over some big scalps, can't you?
Unbelievable.
Just claiming some scalps, winning some games they probably shouldn't win along the way.
They're playing really well on Saturday.
It's going to be a really difficult one.
An interesting one. That's probably the most exciting. Well, obviously the league leaders and that rate, the kind of playoff spots are kind of secured now.
But 5 points now, really, isn't it? The league leaders because of the extra points difference. That running for 6 is going to be interesting as the regular rounds comes to an end. I think that's going to take a lot of people who's going to claim that 6th spot.
Because there's the run for 2, realistically, now with Lee and Leeds 2 points and 1 point behind us.
Yes.
There's going to be the run for 4 to get a home semi.
Yeah.
And the run for 6 to get in.
Yeah. That's really exciting. That's going to be really, really, really good end to season.
Yeah.
Because those deck chairs might reshuffle.
Interesting.
I'd love to go through and just think who would win each round and where that would leave everyone.
Yeah, but it never works, that does it?
It never works, but I'd just love to see it. Maybe take our predictions for the rest of the season. Right, we'll take a quick
break for the next week.
Yeah.
And we'll see you after the Catalan game.
Yeah. It's a really, really big break. And see you all next week. Thank you, Matty, Lewis. See you later.